Welcome to Healing Phoenix. I'm so excited to have this channel to chat with you guys and share my experiences. And yeah, I'm really excited. So let's get started. The first thing I would like to say is thank you very much for watching my video. I've never been on YouTube before, as I explained in my previous video, so I kind of have no idea what I'm doing, but hopefully, with time and experience, hopefully I'll be able to be more, I suppose, proficient. So the main reason is that I would like to connect with anyone who's got similar experiences, to share, to heal, to be there for each other, that good stuff. So basically, my story is that, like a lot of people, I had a very sort of chaotic childhood, and that, as previously mentioned in the previous video, that's caused issues in my adult life, especially when it comes to boundaries, standing up for what I believe in, a whole array of things. And so having gone through that childhood and experienced some things in adult life, I had this issue of always attracting narcissistic, abusive, and toxic relationships. And I was very flabbergasted. I just didn't know why I kept on attracting these toxic people, because it was like very puzzling for me at that time. And so, having gone through those relationships, I started to really analyze the patterns, and then more and more information came um, about connection between childhood and current, life circumstances, connection between how parents attached to their children, and children attached to their parents, having an impact. So I really started delving a lot into just learning about childhood trauma, learning about attachment styles, etc., etc. Basically, it was just a full-on dig up of things. I just realized I could not go on like this. I could not go on having one toxic relationship after another. I could not go on doubting myself. I could not go on just living on the sidelines, being afraid, being silent. There's just so many things came to a head, and I decided, you know what? Like, I cannot run away from this anymore. Like, this has to be opened up and, you know, healed, and I have to deal with this, like, basically. And I tried a few different modalities, and I just felt that it didn't work for me. I just felt like I wasn't connecting, or I wasn't releasing. Like, I just felt stuck still. Like, we just talk modalities and things like that. So I came across, just by chance, I came across somatic therapy. So the whole modality, and I was very interested in that, because obviously that involved body movements, and that really interested me. And I tried it. So the first time I tried it, it was just like something just clicked. I just felt I just felt sensations in my body that I hadn't felt for so long, and started just, I had so many different emotions released, and it was just overwhelming, the amount of emotion that was pouring out of me, and it startled me. I was thinking, oh wow, this is like, what is this like? But at the same time, it's like something had sparked in me. I just felt instinctively that things were being released, and so I kept on doing it and doing it and doing it. And the more somatic exercises I did, the more I released. And it's it's felt like, slowly, I just felt like I was, at that time I was in a very unhappy relationship, and I was very much stuck. And as I kept on doing these somatic exercises, it's almost like it started giving me clarity. It was almost like I didn't feel so scared to leave the relationship. I had some type of belief in myself. And I felt that I could feel better than I was feeling. And that was the best hope that I could have. And I kept on doing it and doing it and doing it. And so many different breakthroughs happened for me, and so many things were released. And I ended up leaving the relationship, which was a narcissistic relationship, and it was very toxic. And I felt that doing these exercises, releasing the pent up trauma, releasing the pent up emotions, even incredible things, insights happened. And so that led me to leave the relationship and really start to just examine my whole life, my whole childhood, and it just gave me so much clarity. And so it was something incredible, and it was something that I thought, yeah, I wish I found this earlier in my life. Of course, we all know everything happens, for at the right time, and in our evolution, in our growth. But as a human being, I thought, oh my goodness, I wish I found this earlier, because I felt like if I had found this earlier, I would have probably made different life choices, because I was connected to myself. Now, this is the part that is seriously, like, I want to scream on top of my lungs. I realized that when somebody, a child, or anyone goes through a traumatic upbringing or a traumatic event, what happens is that our bodies gets activated. So it gets activated, and it's in fight or flight mode. Okay, so that response in the body is to fight or flight. And so heart is going, hormones are getting released, the muscles are tensing. And so that's a response which the body does to protect us. But what happens is, when someone is in that state long term, say for example a child in a chaotic home, an abused woman or man, an abused person, something chaotic or dangerous or unsafe happens, that fight or flight gets activated. And if it keeps on running on a long-term basis, what happens is that it really, really, really wears out the body, and it also wears out the mind, because the person will be on edge, but it will just be like just underneath the surface. And so what happens is then a disconnection happens. So when someone is in fight or flight long term, then it's somehow very, very taxing for the body, because the body is not able to relax, to rest, digest, and do all this normal things that it needs to do. And this puts our nervous system in a very bad space, and it could possibly also go into freeze. So what happens is that disconnection happens between your mind and your body. And so coming back to my case, so I realized that having such a chaotic childhood made me the perfect candidate for a series of narcissistic abusive relationships in my life. Why? Because as a child, I was disconnected from myself, my body, my intuition, and it was, my nervous system was always on alert. So I was always looking for a sense of safety. Okay, this happened on a completely unconscious level. So it's just wild, like how much of a link there is between people with adverse childhood experiences that end up in abusive relationships. It's wild how much that happens. But coming back to this case, is that because of that childhood and the feeling unsafe, my nervous system basically was dysregulated long term, number one. Number two, my nervous system was very much used to chaos, was very much used to attaching to unsafe individuals. My nervous system didn't know how to relax and, let go, just to put it in simple terms. And so of course, naturally, I was attracted to unsafe people. I was attracted to unsafe situations. There was an people pleasing, overworking, overgiving, overachieving, all that, all those things, and it just really, really made me think about how is it that we can make this knowledge more more prevalent in our communities, because I just see people struggling so much, and they're doing all the right things. They're doing well. They're doing talk therapy. They're eating well and stuff. But I just think like this piece is so crucial in recovery, because the body doesn't forget. The body doesn't forget what's happened. The body holds on to tension, it holds on to emotions, it holds on to different responses from the different experiences we've had. And without addressing that, our nervous system, it's going to be healing, it's going to be much, much, much harder, because we're trying to do it from our mind by thinking or letting go. Oh, I remember that happened, let me move on. But really, even if you're saying that to your mind, this has happened to me, even if you're telling yourself, I'm safe, everything's good now, your body doesn't feel that safety, So what really, this somatic modality, somatic therapy, healing, the movements, what the movements do is signal your body, first of all, signal to your body that it's okay. I am safe. You're saying that. I am safe. I am good. Number one. Number two, it's also releasing pent up emotions, releasing things that were stored long term, freeing up that energy field. And so what that does is that slowly over time, that starts resetting the nervous system, and it starts relaxing it and putting it into a parasympathetic nervous system mode. So it puts it in a place where your nervous system is calm and relaxed. You can rest easily and you can digest easily. And that lifts so many different things that people struggle with: anxiety, depression, hypervigilance. I had struggled so much after, in my childhood, growing up, even in my relationships. I struggled so much with hypervigilance. And for the longest time, I thought, what's wrong with me? Like, why can't I relax? Why can't I feel safe? And for decades. But when I found somatic therapy, somatic healing, it's like the answer I was looking for. And it was just fit the puzzle, you know? So basically, I couldn't just be quiet about this. I couldn't. I know I felt like so many people need to hear this, to put those two together, healing the mind and healing the body. They have to be together. You cannot just heal the mind when the body is still holding on to fear, is still holding on to anxiety, is still holding on to anger, is still holding on to so many complex emotions, even emotions that we don't remember, that body remembers. And I just thought, I cannot keep quiet about this. I have to share it. I tell all my friends and my family, listen, healing is not just in your mind, it's also in your body. And they said they used to be constantly going on and on about it. But long story short, I decided I'm going to put together a somatic self-care journal, because it's such somatic can be a complex subject, but I just wanted something simple to get people started on it, to get this big subject, to condense it and make it accessible, you know, to other people who have never heard of this, or the concept is really wild to them, you know. So I authored this journal, self-care journal, called the Somatic Self-Care Journal. And when I wrote it, it was a labor of love, honestly. It was just like, I just imagined, you know, someone who was in the same position as me, just lost to what to do, how to, you know, how to help themselves. They've been to the doctor, they've been to this, they've been told they have anxiety, they have depression, they need medication, they need to do more exercise, they need to eat better. You know, I was there. I was just at the end of my tether. Like, I just was so desperate for an answer. And when I found somatic therapy, everything changed. And I want to share that for anyone who is also looking for something different, who wants to try it, you know. So yeah, let me show you the book, the journal. So this is it. I don't know if you can see it. So basically, it has all it has table of contents, you know, which is like introduction, the nervous system explained. It has exercises to soothe, self-care. There's even a recipe in there. But honestly, I'm not just trying to advertise this book or anything. Like, I genuinely, this book means so much to me because it was like a manual of love that I put together, not only for myself but for other people who are probably in a similar situation and have had similar challenges. So I'll put a link on my web, on the channel. But I just from my heart, I just wanted to share this because it's done a lot for me, and it's something, somatic therapy is something that I always continue to practice in my daily life, just everyday life, to deal with anything as a daily thing, and also to deal with stressful situations, you know. And so this will um, give structure to, if for self-care, you know, when the nervous system is dysregulated, it's something that I do to calm myself down and to be in touch with my body. So yeah, I'm just really happy to share this. And if you have any questions, or if you want to comment about anything, or if you want to know more about the journal, if you want to know more about my journey, whatever it is, like, just write me a message and I'll be in touch with you. And yeah, like I said, I'm new to YouTube, so I hope, you know, you can understand, it's clear. Like, I will improve, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm really, really, really so grateful, like so excited to share this and so many other things I want to share with anyone watching. So yeah, until next time, see you there.